The third option to draw curves in Maya is the Bezier tool. So with this, it allows me to have kind of like the best of both worlds. And if you're familiar with Illustrator at all, this tool really does a nice job because I can go linear, no doubt about it. But the minute I want to switch to tangent, all I do is have to click and drag. So take this for example, linear, and then all of a sudden I want to have a curve out here. I just can click and drag, and it starts out becoming a more tangent-based curve. Okay. So this is the Bezier tool, and you can have different options, like this, for example. Okay. But what really helps is when you select these things, like if I go to select one of these control vertices, now you notice that there is rocker arms out here that I can adjust after the fact. Okay, so that's the beauty of the Bezier system, is because there's more control here. There's a lot more control. Now, people that hate Illustrator, however, and there are people that hate Illustrator's the curve system, I would say, I would stick to the other system if you like, because Bezier curves are very hard to get used to as far as editing them. Okay. Now that we looked at the several ways to make curves, there are several ways to edit curves also, and there are ways to kind of join them. So along with the Bezier tool, I also want to cover joining curves. So let's make a linear, and then go to the select tool, and then go back onto the tool and make a 3 cubic. Okay, 2 curves. Now these curves can be attached to each other. So if I shift click one, shift click the other, I can go to edit curves, attach square box. And in here, I have the ability to either connect them, which looks a lot like this, or I can blend them, which looks a lot like that. Okay. I highly suggest saying keep originals off. That is a very pain in the butt thing to keep on. You end up with a lot of curves that don't really make sense at the end. So that is a way to attach them. Let's say they are attached, however. Let's say they're attached and I need to break them. Well, that's very easy. You go to curve point and you click in the area and you say, I need to cut it here. Now you have 2 curves. You can go to object mode and move them. Notice that the point, however, of origin is way up here. So along with this, I would say modify center pivot, and I can now move it around. If I don't want this here, the pivot point, a very handy way to do that is D on the keyboard and then C as in cat. So dog cat. Dog cat allows you to snap it onto the curve, and that makes it so it's mounted right there at the end of the curve rather than the center. So now you can easily rotate it a little bit better sometimes. Alright, please move on to the next video where I tell you more about curves.